I just want to say to you, welcome, to say to you, thank you so much for coming. There's food at the end of the room down here. There are drinks at the end of the room down here. Please make yourself at home, and we'll hear from a couple of folks here in a few minutes after we've had a chance to get a bite and mingle a little bit. Thank you.
Unfortunately, a lot of South Georgians don't even know what's in there. This is for the great box. He brings in part of that. We're going to post a scrap. Excuse me, sweetie. You don't have to this here. Yeah. Democrats, and he had just finished running against Mickey Gingrich, and so I really for way back then he started up this group of Democrats, and I've been part of it.
All right, I'm in.
And they got right down just to 500.
Thank you all for having me. I appreciate this. John, thank you for putting this together. And Danita, thank you very much for putting this together. And the Tifton County Democrats for getting it all organized. And it's a pleasure meeting Congressman Jim Marshall. And, you know, as the first speaker, I'll try to be the way they taught us in the Army, be brief, be brilliant, and be gone. So I brought this map up here so you can all see where we come from. We got a great Congressman, John Barrow, who's become a good friend of mine, up here in the 12th. And he's got a great campaign, and he's going to solidly win. So we got a blue area going on here, and we got a good congressman over here in the 8th, Jim Marshall, who's in the room, and look forward to hearing from him. And we got Sanford Bishop over here, and that is a big district, just a little bit bigger than the 1st Congressional District, but we got a lot of blue. There's no reason why we can't turn these 25 counties and the 700,000 people of the 1st Congressional District back into good Democrats, and that's the goal, and we've made tremendous success, and I could not be more pleased in terms of the response that I've got, the organization in the 25 counties, fundraising in 25 counties, support in Atlanta, getting ready to head out to D.C., where we're doing a big fundraiser, and we're going to hear good things in D.C. What an awesome week for Democrats. You know, first off, starting Al Gore winning the Nobel Peace Prize. And just little things like Merle Haggard getting out, writing Hillary songs, supporting Hillary. That is, you know, Bob Dylan said a long time ago, the times they are changing, and man, with Merle Haggard out there, that is a coup. So. And we got Johnny Isakson saying he wants to run for governor, and Jack Kingston saying he would like to be the senator. So I think my odds just improved a lot. 23 years in the Army, I think I have some valuable experiences, proven value-based leader, problem solver, decision maker, common sense back to government, statistics, get people to try to vote their self-interest. All of you got a piece of that. Voters do not vote their self-interest. Maybe this time. Got to tone down the emotionalism, got to tone down the fear, and we got to just go out there and talk to our moderate friends and try to convince them with statistics and voting records that it's in their best interest to be a Democrat. And we're going to talk about our values. I have a lot of things that I'd like to talk to you about, but I'm going to focus in on two quick things. I love what happened in terms of the Agricultural Innovation Center here, and I would love to partner up and make the 1st Congressional District, along with the 8th and along with the 2nd, the national leader in alternative energy. The VA system is broken. We have rationed health care. Rationed health care. They make it so bureaucratic that people can't fight the process. Wounded vets. I am a disabled vet. Disabled vet who doesn't retire doesn't get health insurance. They're tied to VA clinics. They're tied to VA hospitals. You know, my opponent Jack Kingston's out promising VA hospitals here and VA clinics here and VA clinics here. The VA doesn't work that way. That is just poor immoral campaign politics. What good is a building that doesn't get funded? I live outside of Savannah, and the VA clinic there doesn't have any staff. So don't promise me another VA clinic that doesn't get staffed and funded correctly. If you go to a VA clinic in Valdosta, it's pretty good. You go to a VA clinic in Savannah, and they put you on a bus to Charleston, or to Dublin, or to Augusta, or to Lake City and Jacksonville. We can't continue with that kind of rationed health care, especially when you look at the wounded profiles. 5 years ago, 1,000 of the people that have been wounded, roughly 1,000, would have been dead from head trauma wounds that are alive today. The medical profile of their injuries have changed. Out of the 30,000 that we had, about 7,000 would have been dead 35 years ago on the battlefield of Vietnam. They are going to be tied to a healthcare system that is broken. We need to be able to put them back together and take care of them like we had promised. 15 years ago, the military had a recruiting problem, and they decided that they were going to be more family friendly, and that it wasn't just going to be a system for 18-year-old men to go out, serve 2 years, get a little bit of beer money, get your razor paid for by the government, get some shaving cream, and you live here, and it's not a career. It's just duty, honor, country, and you serve your military and country for 2 years, 3 years. That system changed. 15 years ago, they decided to be family friendly and try to pay a living wage so it would become a career. Unfortunately, folks that thought that was a good idea never have properly funded the infrastructure for the career, for the family, for the health care, and the military families are living a miserable life. So we got a lot to do in taking care of the vets and the veteran families, or we're even going to have more recruiting kind of problems. So those are just some things that I feel very passionate about, that I am an expert about. I work for the Department of Labor, teaching military people how to retire. The wounded people, how to transition. I teach a 3-day workshop on how to maximize your military experience and go out and get a job in the civilian sector. The last thing I want to talk to you about is the war in Iraq, which I am an experienced subject matter expert. When I was in Iraq the last time, the 3rd Infantry Division, I was the chief logistician. I had 6,500 people that I had operational control over. All the transportation, all the logistics. The 3rd Infantry Division, at the time when we crossed into Iraq, had morphed into an organization that went up from 16,000 people to 40,000 people. And it was my responsibility to get every single commodity at the right place at the right time to the soldiers that needed it. We were the enablers for the combat folks. We did an outstanding job, but I became so disillusioned and so disappointed about the planning and the execution of the war that I took my name off the command list and the promotion list and the war college list, and I decided to retire. I was that disillusioned with the profession that I had loved for 23 years. I joined the military as a staunch idealist, anti-communist. My very first job was on a tank in the German border in 1985. I always felt good about what we did as a country. I was there to be the knight in shining armor and to stand up for democracies and human rights. Something has happened in the last 7 years where the profession became tarnished and it became a political tool. I never felt bad sitting in a tank on the East German border for 2 years. I was in Berlin when the wall fell down. I was dancing on the wall, November 9th, 1989. I felt great. I never felt bad sitting on the DMZ in Korea or serving in the travels with my country, serving my country as an Army engineer and logistician. I got to travel over 6 continents. The only place I didn't get to go serve was in Antarctica, and I'm not a cold weather person. So, John, again, I appreciate everything, and I took up 5 minutes more than what you gave me. Thank you, Bill.
Bill Gillespie from the 1st District. Y'all recharge your glasses and get something else to eat, and then we'll have Jim Marshall come up here in just a few minutes.